Okay, so you're thinking about bringing Petr Rudzan on board.
Sounds like a smart move.
But before you make any decisions, we want to give you something a little more in-depth than just the standard resume spiel.
Yeah, because trust me, this is a deep dive.
We're looking at everything: application letters, resumes, even a human design analysis that he provided.
You're going to get a real sense of who Peter is, how he works, and how he thinks.
Exactly. So first off, 25 years.
That's a long time.
25 years of experience in finance, operations, and strategic development.
And across a bunch of different industries, too. Automotive, petrochemical, manufacturing, healthcare. This is somebody who knows how to adapt.
Oh, and the companies he's worked for. Not exactly small potatoes. Siemens, TRW, Unipetrol. We're even talking Dakota Transportation.
Big names, big responsibilities. And he hasn't just been clocking in and out. This is someone who has led mergers, optimized financial processes for companies like with turnovers over €1 billion, implementing ERP systems, you name it.
This is a guy who makes things happen.
Absolutely. And when you look at his accomplishments, it's clear that this is someone who really knows how to handle a turnaround, stabilize a tricky situation.
Like with GCE?
Yeah, GCE.
Yeah.
He came in, implemented cost control measures, streamlined processes, basically rescued the company.
Hands-on approach, strategic financial leadership. He's got the vision and the know-how to execute. Or look at Dakota Transportation in Finland.
Yeah, in Finland.
Major personnel changes happening. Things could have easily fallen apart. But Peter stepped in, kept those financial processes running smoothly, calmed everything down.
And he's done this time and time again, leading and managing teams, sometimes small, sometimes, upwards of 25 people.
So he's comfortable at any scale. But it's not just about the numbers with Peter. He really believes in communication, in emotional intelligence.
Especially when he's dealing with a wide range of people, board of directors, shareholders, even government officials.
He knows how to connect with everyone. It's crucial for building trust and getting results.
And you see this reflected in his self-assessment, too. He talks a lot about stewardship, long-term commitment, creating a harmonious work environment.
This isn't just about finding a job for him. It's about finding the right place to make a real contribution, build something that lasts.
Exactly.
Now, this is where things get interesting.
Buckle up.
Peter included a human design analysis in his materials.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
Might sound a little out there, but stick with us here, because it actually gives us some valuable insight into how he sees himself and what motivates him.
Okay, so he identifies as an alchemist generator.
Which suggests, basically, that he has a consistent work ethic and, a real drive to turn challenges into opportunities.
He doesn't shy away from the hard stuff.
He embraces it. And then there's his emotional solar plexus authority, which basically means that he needs to reflect, take time to think things through before making decisions.
Sounds pretty strategic.
Absolutely. Not impulsive. He wants to make sure that he understands the situation, the impact of his actions.
Which, if you think about it, lines up perfectly with his focus on emotional intelligence.
Right. It all ties together.
And this careful approach, this thoughtfulness, you can see it playing out in a lot of his achievements. Like, for example, at Aptar.
Okay, yeah, Bapcher.
He really took the time to analyze the situation, identified a bunch of areas for improvement, came up with specific actions to strengthen client relationships, standardize practices, really refine their performance objectives.
He doesn't just see the problems, he sees the solutions too. That kind of proactive thinking, it's gold in any role.
Yeah.
And especially leadership positions.
Absolutely. And speaking of Aptar, we can't ignore his fascination with AI.
Yeah, his desire to bring that into their ERP system.
Exactly. It shows he's not afraid of new technologies, actually. He's eager to embrace them, to optimize processes, to improve things.
He's forward-thinking.
Definitely. And it's interesting you compare this to what he did at Namaknai's Pardubikeo Kraja, a healthcare group.
Yeah, he was involved in merging 5 companies there.
Huge modernization project.
Yeah. Including implementing a new ERP system.
Exactly. So he's comfortable not just with the technology itself, but with using it to drive real positive change, no matter what sector he's in.
Adaptable.
That's the word. It really shows you how adaptable he is. I mean, one minute he's streamlining financial processes for a huge manufacturing company. The next he's diving into the complexities of healthcare mergers.
He's seen it all. And the financial scope of his work, we're talking budgets from 100 million to 2 billion euros.
That's not a typo, folks. Billion with a B.
He can handle the small stuff, the big stuff, always focused on efficiency and results.
And he's not just about maintaining, keeping things ticking over. He's always looking for ways to improve, to take things to the next level.
Like even in his application for the Director of GBS Excellence at Aptar, he didn't just say, hey, here are my qualifications. He went above and beyond, provided a detailed analysis of where he saw room for improvement, suggested specific steps to strengthen those client relationships, standardized practices, really refine the onboarding process.
It's that proactiveness that sets him apart.
He's not waiting for instructions. He's already thinking 3 steps ahead, figuring out how to make the whole organization better.
A true leader.
Exactly. And that brings us back to this idea of creating a harmonious work environment.
It's not just a nice-sounding phrase for him. It's something he really believes in.
It's about building a strong team, positive relationships, everyone working together.
And it probably comes from his own values, Remember, he sees himself as a steward.
Taking care of the organization, the people.
Responsible.
Right. And that's what's so great about this deep dive. We're getting a much richer picture of Peter than any resume could ever give us. You've seen his career path, his skills, but even more importantly, his values, his approach to leadership.
So where does that leave you as a potential employer? Well, you have a much better understanding of who Petr Rudzan is. Not just what he's doing, but how he does it.
His adaptability, his ability to handle complex situations, that commitment to constant improvement, that genuine desire to create a positive work environment.
And maybe even more importantly, you've seen his passion.
Oh, yeah. You can't fake that.
You can't teach it either. And when it comes to leading and inspiring others, that passion makes all the difference.
So look, we know you're busy, but before we wrap up this deep dive, there's one last thing we wanted to mention.
One more little nugget.
We've only just touched on Peter's, his unique projects, his interest in AI.
Fascinating stuff.
Could that be something that could benefit your company that you could collaborate with him on?
It's definitely food for thought. And that's the beauty of a deep dive like this. This is just the beginning.
You've got this foundation now. You have a much clearer picture of Peter.
So what's the next step?
Easy. Reach out to him directly.
Talk to him, ask the questions you have, see if that spark is there.
Because this deep dive, it's just the starting point. The real magic happens when you connect one-on-one. And we didn't even have time to get into all of the details of those projects.
There's just so much to unpack.
But I think it's safe to say that, his passion for AI, that's something you might want to explore further with him, see if it aligns with what you're doing.
Definitely. And think about it, this deep dive. It's given you a much clearer picture of Petr Rudzan than, just a pile of resumes ever could.
Right. It's not just about, what jobs he's held. It's about how he's approached challenges, how he's built teams, how he's always striving to make things better.
The values, right?
Oh, yeah, those values. Stewardship, long-term commitment, that focus on creating a really positive work environment. Those aren't just like empty words. Those are things that he has demonstrated throughout his entire career.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for you? Well, you're not just hiring someone to fill a position. You're potentially bringing in like a real leader.
A problem solver.
Someone who's invested in the success of the organization.
And someone who might bring fresh ideas, like his interest in AI integration, which could really benefit your company down the line.
So what are we saying? We're saying reach out to Peter. Talk to him. Ask him about those projects that really get him excited, the challenges he's most proud of overcoming.
How he sees himself fitting in with your team.
This deep dive, it's giving you the tools, the knowledge to have a really meaningful conversation.
So now it's your turn to connect, see if there's a good fit. Good luck.
We're rooting for you.